No worries. Gardner City Council meeting will come to order. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're going to begin this evening's council meeting with a presentation about public officials' liability, and we've got some people here from Midwest Public Risk, and Courtney Kroger, who I believe we've seen here before.
Yes.
From Kutak Rock. They're going to cover individual and group exposure that can pop up when we're performing our public duties. So we'll turn the floor over to you all.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm Courtney Kroger. I'm an attorney with Kutak Rock, and I am the coverage counsel for MPR, which was formerly known as Midwest Public Risk, which is your effectively liability coverage pool. What we have been doing for a number of the members is providing a little bit of training to help you not have to see us. You don't want to see me for anything other than an occasional training session, because if you see me outside of these, it means somebody has filed a lawsuit and we've had to get involved. Jason McMahon is also here from MCR, and we thought rather than me stand here and try to lecture everybody, we'd try to make this a little more palatable. I know some of you have seen this, but we brought a training video, and I'd like to ask Tammy to or Doreen to run that for us right now.
Hello, Dan. Congratulations on being elected as a council member.
Thanks, Mayor. I'm real excited about attending my first meeting and being sworn in, although I'm a little nervous.
Nervous? About what? You were elected by a landslide.
Well, there are several things I'd like to accomplish. I'll be the first to admit, I have a lot to learn. I don't want to end up like former Councilman Smith. I want to have a successful term, but I don't want to end up being sued.
Hey, Dan, you'll be joining us tonight.
Hey, Bill.
Hi. I'm Margaret Taylor. I've been a council member here with the City of Cottonwood for 10 years, and mayor for the last 2. During my time with the city, we have made a lot of progress, but also a few mistakes. Certain members of the council have created messy liability situations that have cost the city a great deal of money, hurt our public image, and stalled important projects. And in some situations, elected officials have paid personal liability claims out of their own pockets. The purpose of this video and accompanying handbook is to help you avoid the mistakes that can lead to liability and identify best practices that will allow you to be successful as an elected or appointed official. SIRSA presents In the Scope of Your Authority, Preventing Public Officials' Liability.
That's a lot of good information. Well, thanks, Bill. I'll see you tonight. All right. Oh, Mayor, do you have a few minutes to discuss some of those past mistakes?
Sure, Dan. Come on in.
Thanks.
Have a seat.
Thank you.
You referred to Councilmember Patrick Smith. He promised during his campaign he would never allow Megamart to build a store in Cottonwood, and he was pretty vocal about it.
Stay away, Megamart! Stay away, Megamart! I've had similar opinions about giant retailers, although I haven't been as vocal as Mr. Smith. Where'd he go wrong?
Well, I don't think he ever accepted the fact that as an individual council member, he really didn't have the authority to act on his own. That's why Smith was never able to get anything done. He was pretty vocal about the few issues he was interested in, but rarely worked to build consensus within the council. Dan, pretty much everything we do requires collaboration within the framework of our council. Elected officials can't get anything done as individuals.
I see your point.
So the first lesson is to think and act in terms of we, not I. Apart from a few duties vested in the mayor, the laws that govern our city don't give any powers to individual council members. We've got a diverse council with a lot of different perspectives, and we can only accomplish our goals by working together. Now that you've been elected, your role changes dramatically. You're no longer an outsider promoting your own agenda. You now have to work with your fellow council members to accomplish the city's goals as a collective body.
Let me ask you more about Councilmember Smith. The Mega Mart deal, it was approved by the council, although by close vote. What problems did Smith cause?
Remember all of his anti-Mega Mart statements? When it came time for us to actually hear and act on Mega Mart's land use application, he should have recused himself.
So he shouldn't have voted.
That's right. He shouldn't have participated in the hearing or voted. Smith had made it well known that he was aligned with the Mega Mart opponents. When we're acting in a quasi-judicial capacity, such as when deciding on a land use application or a liquor license, we must be fair and impartial. We can't do that if we've already made up our minds before the hearing. Councilmember Smith had made it clear that he opposed the Mega Mart application. He was not acting as a fair and impartial decision-maker. Fortunately, the Mega Mart application was approved by a small margin. Otherwise, the city could have been accused of a due process violation.
Due process?
Yes, the U.S. Constitution guarantees the right to a fair hearing as part of an applicant's due process rights.
During my campaign, I talked with a lot of my neighbors who are also anti-growth. I expressed to them my concerns about protecting our small businesses from giant retailers. Will that prevent you from voting on similar issues?
Well, the question is, if one of those big retailers comes before the council with a land use application, can you be fair? Can you make your decision based only on the evidence you hear and the requirements of our land use code? And can you set aside your previous discussions with your neighbors?
I can't ignore my neighbors. They elected me to represent them, not ignore them.
I'm not saying ignore your neighbors, but when an application is pending, you should not have discussions with anyone outside of the hearing. Our city attorney calls these discussions ex parte contacts. Your decision in a quasi-judicial matter must be based on the evidence presented.